We have all the major updates of mixed martial arts, starting with the news. Darren Till set to make boxing debut on the same event card that features a fight between Tyson and Paul. Darren Till is finally set to make his return to combat sports after months of speculation. Reports this Wednesday afternoon reveal that the Darren Till will make his professional boxing debut on July 20th, taking on former WBC middleweight boxing title holder Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. According to an initial report from Ariel Helwani, Till will make his professional boxing debut on July 20th in Arlington, Texas. He will be fighting on the undercard of a main event featuring Mike Tyson in a bout against Jake Paul. This fight decision was made very suddenly, which has left many fans shocked. Ronda Rousey accuses ex-boyfriend Brendan Schaub of playing mind games. Currently, Rousey is married to another former heavyweight fighter with the promotion, Travis Browne. But before marrying Travis and leaving MMA, Ronda dated former UFC heavyweight contender Brendan Schaub. In her latest autobiography book, Ronda Rousey revealed that things were never great between her and Brendan Schaub. She has mostly stayed quiet about her relationship with Brendan Schaub, but Schaub has openly talked about it. Because of this, fans easily figured out that Rousey was referring to Schaub in her book, even though she didn't name him. Rousey wrote in her book, "Travis had been training with us for a while when it was announced that his first fight as an official member of our team would be against my ex-boyfriend. My ex thrived on playing mind games with me when I had a fight coming up and insisted we hide that we were dating so he wouldn't be labeled Ronda Rousey's boyfriend." At UFC 181 in 2014, Travis Browne quickly defeated Brendan Schaub in the opening round. Despite trying to stay calm, Ronda Rousey couldn't help but feel happy seeing Schaub knocked out. When Travis knocked him out at the end of the first round, I didn't think it could get any more gratifying. My ex covered up on the ground while Travis pounded away on him. The referee waved the match over. Then Travis, towering over the crumpled, semi-conscious body of my ex, leaned down and whispered something in his ear. His words were indiscernible to the camera, but I swore I could hear Travis's voice saying, "Ronda says F you." Schaub ultimately retired from the sport a year after his loss to Browne. Shavkat Rakhmonov shares new training footage. SEAN Strickland shockingly reveal Paula Costa has not signed the contract. Before we dive into this, we are very close to reaching 800 subscribers. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you receive notifications of upcoming MMA updates. Let's get back to the news. It's pretty interesting that Dana White announced the fight and almost everything is ready for the fight. The date has also been announced, but so far the fighters haven't even signed the contract. SEAN Strickland recently revealed through a video that Paula Costa hasn't signed the fight contract yet. Now, there are only 2 weeks left for the event. Listen to what SEAN Strickland said.
Well, goddamn, Costa. I've heard you have yet to sign that contract. And I'll tell you what, man, I didn't believe it. I did not think you'd be acting like a I thought you would man up, sack up, but instead you're acting like you got fucking ovaries. So I went on the Googler. I did the right things, give you the benefit of the doubt. I went on the Googler, and I noticed something, man. After you fought Izzy, you went downhill. You went off that deep, my man. I don't know what happened in that little pea brain you have, but do we need to get someone for you to talk to, my man? Do we need to sit you down, have you talk about your feelings? I think therapy's for weak men. But let me tell you something, dude. You're being a weak man. If you can't sack up and make this shit happen, we'll get someone for you to talk to. Don't disappoint me. Don't disappoint the fans. Let me make you fucking believe.
MMA fans also reacted to this. One fan said, "Costa always signs last minute. This ain't new." Another fan said, "Why does the UFC announce a fight if the fighter hasn't signed the contract? We need Dustin to win. Sign the contract. Only 3 guarantees in life, death, taxes, and Costa pulling out of a fight. We want to see Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis. What the hell? Costa might actually ruin this card. Sign the contract, big boy." After 11 consecutive title defenses, Mighty Mouse finally revealed how much the UFC pays fighters based on their social media account traffic. Johnson revealed that UFC encouraged fighters to use social media platforms to build their personal brands, emphasizing that increased popularity could lead to more earning opportunities, such as pay-per-view points and partnerships. Plus, Johnson applauds the UFC for encouraging fighters to embrace social media through incentives like laptops and cash prizes linked to their online presence. He acknowledges the positive impact this strategy has on promoting fighters' personal brands and enhancing their overall visibility in the sport.
When Twitter and Instagram and Facebook first came out, the UFC would, I talked about in one of my recent videos about UFC Fighter Summit. He would bring us there and say, you guys need to build your brand. It's free. It costs you nothing. The more people want to see you fight, the more money you're going to make, because you're going to make money in pay-per-view points, etc., etc. If you became a champion, you become a partner. I've done a video on that already. But the UFC was very good about doing that. And then, yes, you'll send your laptops. And then they will give you incentives. I think it was like quarterly incentives, like whoever had the most traffic in their thing would be like, first person will get 25,000. It'll go like 12,000 and then 5,000 and maybe, $1,000. So they give us a lot of incentives to talk about the fights and boast it. And they kept on doing it for, I think it lasted for maybe a year or 2 years. And then, fast forward to what it is today, I think they've seen the payoff of them slowly, investing in telling the fighters to do that. Like, I'll never forget at the UFC Fighter Summit, they pulled up a picture of Cain Velasquez. I was like, you see this man? This man is Mexican-American. We are trying to break into the Mexican market. So we want this man to do very, very well. You need to follow this man's footsteps and trying to get your community behind you. That way it brings more eyeballs to the sport. And at that time, they were trying to break into the Mexican market, the Latino market in the UFC.
Michael Bisping reacts to Khabib tax fraud case. Recently, there was a report by MASH claiming that Khabib owed the federal tax services in Russia approximately $3.3 million. However, Khabib's team later responded, stating that the accusation of tax fraud was unfounded and Khabib could continue to operate his business as usual. In response to this ongoing situation, Michael Bisping weighed in. Let's take a look at what he had to say.
Harrington, have you seen this story about Khabib Nurmagomedov? Apparently he's been investigated and he's in a bit of hot water. Something like $3 or $4 million in back taxes.
I've seen that. Is that real?
The rumors are that it's real. It hasn't been confirmed by the what?
Last point. The microphone generally pointed at your face. No. Put your head back to it. There you go.
Good job. Good job, Harrington.
There it is.
So while it has not been confirmed by the Russian, I believe it's called it's FTS there, Federal Tax Services. A number of different outlets have reported on it. They've also reported that Khabib's bank accounts have been frozen for those businesses. So specifically in line with Eagle FC and one of his charitable organizations. And the thing I was reading said that the big problem was he's taking business out of Russia into Dubai and Turkey, which is making, the Kremlin pretty mad at him.
Yeah. Just for the people that don't know, Harrington, come back on. For the people that don't know, because I don't have the story in front of me, you have it in the notes, etc. Just give a brief overview, because obviously you were piggybacking off what Anthony said. If nobody knows anything about this story, so he doesn't owe. So apparently there's an investigation. He owes how much in taxes and etc.
So he allegedly owes the Russian government $3.3 million in taxes due to business he invested in after his MMA career, including Eagle FC. I do know that his bank accounts they've allegedly been frozen, and he could be looking at steep penalties, including 3 years of forced labor, 6 years in jail, or up to a $500,000 fine.
I don't know. I mean, Khabib has represented Russia on the world stage for a long time. And Russia, I mean, just like every bloody government's crooked as hell, and Russia's right up there with the best. Yeah. But I would think that with Khabib being one of their,
he's pretty tight with Putin.
He's pretty tight with Putin. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not with him. Repping Russia to the highest. He's like, he's like, right, pull him to one side. Oh, you little dickhead, what you doing? You're gonna pay. You have to pay your taxes. What is this bullshit? Come on, Khabib, pay tax, brother.
That's what I thought when I read it. Like, I don't know. Maybe there is something going on, but and maybe they don't like him taking some of his business to Turkey and Dubai, but I don't know, maybe he's getting some penalties on something like that. But he's pretty tight with Putin. I have a hard time believing Putin's going to do anything to Khabib.
How much in his bank accounts, which were frozen, were they bank accounts in the States or Russia?
They were Russia. It's the accounts for Eagle FC and his charitable organization. Both of those.
Oh, so just his businesses, not like his personal.
Yeah.
Oh,
his business. Just his businesses, bro.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Yes, got to pay taxes.
Didn't Putin? I think I read somewhere that Putin gave him like a large piece of property and
massive
and like a shit ton of money when he retired.
Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, I think I even saw Dana talking about that. So like, it's kind of conflicting.
A little bit.